I've always had a strange obsession with coffee. I'm not sure why, but I think it's the warm feeling of a hot liquid going down your throat and into your stomach. I think it's the fact that it warms you to the bone. Moving on, however. I sat at the table, drinking my cup of coffee. God, I love my job, I thought to myself with a grin on my face and a cup of coffee in my right hand. I glanced across the table at my friend. If you're not going to drink your coffee, then why did you ask me to make you some? He kept silent, a blank look in his eyes as he stared at me. I shrugged. Fine then, more for me, I guess. I reached across the table and slid the mug of coffee in front of me. I took one more long sip of my own, finishing it off with one large gulp. I returned to the paper in front of me, sketching a few things while moving on to the cup I had taken from him. I yawned deeply into my sleeve, pausing my writing only for that. I frowned. I looked back at my friend. David was his name, from what I recall. I glanced over to the TV in the kitchen, listening to the news anchor. Breaking news! This just in, yet another body has been found. I frowned. The body was found late last night flowing down the little river. It had multiple lacerations and the word fear with the number 3 replacing the E carved in its stomach. Police are yet to let out any further information. This has been Action News, reporting to you live. I sighed after the newscast ended, looking over at David a bit tiredly. It appears they found my work, David. Now it's only a matter of time until they find you. I got up and walked over to the lifeless pale body. It had a smooth laceration, nearly surgical, along the throat area. I peeled his shirt off his body, while sliding out a butcher knife from one of the nearby drawers. I then slid my gas mask on. I brought the knife upon his stomach and began to carve T-H-3 into his stomach. His warm blood splattered along my shirt as I severed multiple veins. My gloves had blood painted on them. When I stabbed the bloody butcher knife into the wood table, letting it stick, I adjusted my mask with my gloved hand and made my way out to the back door. I sprinted into the woods behind his house. While reaching for my cell phone, I dialed 911, having just thought of a marvelous plan. 911, what's your emergency? I responded in my tired voice. Yes, I would like to report a murder. Okay, where has the murder taken place, sir? Well, where'd be the fun in that? I turned around and whipped my phone toward the house. I wasn't far, so it only hit the grass in the backyard when I turned around and ran off into the trees. The next day, I drove by the house. The cops were still there examining the crime scene further, for God knows what reason. They'd be looking for me now, but that would just add onto the fun of it all. God, I love my job, I thought to myself, as I drove off towards the highway to get out of this place for now.